welcome back to my art channel. Today I will be talking about Scarletflame, a warrior cat OC that started out as a villainous medicine cat and morphed into much more than that over time. Art I have for this video may include me working on her ref, some old art from an animated series that I once worked on, and a redraw of her and Sparrowclaw that I redid recently. I apologize in advance for the low resolution art, or the old art, back when I drew really large eyes and really stretched out cat noses. Scarletflame originates from a roleplay called Broken Hearts, which was created by Moonshadow in 2018, or like the beginning of 2019, I think, somewhere in there. Through the roleplay, I met several amazing people and was able to reunite with an old roleplay partner who I had not roleplayed with in like 7 years. For the purposes of this video, though, the main people I roleplayed with will be referred to as Sorrel, who played Scorchpelt, and Tice, who played Needlestar. Though the roleplay ended several years ago due to inactivity, I still miss the people that I was able to roleplay with there and the dramatic plot lines we came up with. I have since lost contact with most of them. One last thing before we jump into the actual content of the video. Just a quick warning about the potential of flashing colors in the speed draw, mentions of abandonment, injuries, cat violence, and character death. Also, most of Scarletflame's backstory also kind of ties in with Briar's backstory, so if you haven't seen Briar's video, I'll have a card up on the screen here, but it's not all that important. So, Scarletpaw was apprenticed under Cloudfrost, a kind elderly medicine cat. Cloudfrost was a friend of Scarletpaw's mother, and though her father Harefoot had no interest in raising his kits, Cloudfrost took on the role of a motherly figure for the young cat. However, Cloudfrost fell ill shortly after Scarletflame received her full medicine cat name. Though Scarletflame did her best to save her mentor, Cloudfrost soon joined StarClan. Grief-stricken, Scarletflame finds comfort in a forbidden relationship with a Tom from another clan. She begins sneaking out of camp to see him, often telling her clanmates that she is going to visit with StarClan. In her head, she believed that if the clan ever found out about their relationship, she and Sparrowclaw would run away together and never have to worry about clan life. It was also headcanoned by one of my friends that maybe Scarletflame was kind of a bit manipulative of Sparrowclaw, but that's something I have yet to explore. At her next visit to the Moonlake, Scarletflame is confronted by Cloudfrost, who warns her that it is unwise to put her trust in such a hastily formed friendship, and that her clanmates should always come first. Scarletflame retaliates, blaming Cloudfrost for her lonely life as a medicine cat and firmly stating that she should be able to have something of her own. As Scarletflame storms off, Cloudfrost speaks of a prophecy about a kit with ice in his heart. Scarletflame refuses to listen. But sure enough, the Burrow Clan Tom she thought had loved her abandoned her when he found out she was expecting kits, too worried about his reputation in the clan, and too much of a coward to face the consequences of his actions. Scarletflame is angered by this and vows to make him pay for what he had done. When Snakekit is born, Scarletflame decides to use him to take down Sparrowclaw. She agrees to send Snakekit to train with Yellowtail in the Dark Forest, despite Yellowtail being Briar's former mentor and a cat that Scarletflame does not really like that much. She returns to Fern Clan with Snakekit and is confronted by the deputy, Scorchpelt, who decides to strip her of her rank as a medicine cat. He is sympathetic, however, and offers to help her train to be a warrior. Scarletflame reluctantly agrees. After one of their training sessions, another queen in the nursery informs Scarletflame that Scorchpelt seems to be quite fond of her. Scarletflame is horrified by this and quickly confronts Scorchpelt, telling him that she could never love again, not after what her last mate put her through. This causes tension between them, and Scarletflame grows distracted during one training session, accidentally hurting her paw. Snakekit lashes out at Scorchpelt, believing that he hurt her on purpose. Scorchpelt is later wounded by Sparrowclaw at a gathering battle, and Scarletflame ends up treating his wounds. She accidentally reveals to Scorchpelt that Sparrowclaw is Snakekit's father, and later, Scorchpelt also accuses her of having her son trained in the Dark Forest. Even though they had this really cute interaction where, Scorchpelt left the medicine den to go get a mouse from the fresh kill pile, and Scarletflame caught him, and he wasn't supposed to be out of the den because he was really lightheaded, and decides to, risk it and let him go back to the den with the mouse, but he ends up losing his balance and she has to catch him in the middle of the clearing, and all of the cats stare at them. It was really funny. But Scarletflame refuses to tell him more, avoiding him for a few moons while Snakepaw starts his apprenticeship under Scorchpelt's guidance. Snakepaw ends up sneaking out and is confined to camp until he cleans the Elder's Den, which he refuses to do. Scarletflame notices him missing again one morning and fetches Scorchpelt to help her find him. However, the deputy begins to suspect an ambush, and Scarletflame's lack of answers only puts him more on edge. They begin to fight, and Scarletflame desperately promises that she would never intentionally hurt him. Turns out that Snakepaw was back at camp cleaning the Elder's Den the whole time, and Scarletflame hadn't thought to check before leading Scorchpelt away on a wild goose chase. A highlight of their relationship. Yes. She manages to avoid Scorchpelt for quite some time after that, until they eventually call a truce. But the next day, Scarletflame wakes to a commotion in the clearing, exiting the den just as Snakepaw's body lands with a thud at her paws. Needlestar screeches something about him being a Dark Forest trainee and a traitor to his clan. Scarletflame casts a panicked look at Scorchpelt, who apologizes, not having expected the leader to react this way when he told him. Scarletflame desperately darts between the leader and the apprentice, receiving a hard blow from Needlestar that was meant to kill Snakepaw. She later wakes in the Clover Clan medicine den, finding that Scorchpelt, Snakepaw, and another warrior named Firetail had all fled to the safety of another clan to get away from Needlestar. However, they aren't the only ones taking refuge there. Sparrowclaw also resides in Clover Clan, after having been banished from Burrow Clan for his actions during the gathering. Scorchpelt decides to leave the clans, fed up with following the rules while his own leader continues to break them. Scarletflame realizes that his leaving would make her plans for vengeance easier, though she still feels her heart breaking as she watches him go. It doesn't take long for a battle to break out between the clans, and Scarletflame takes the opportunity to ambush Sparrowclaw. She orders Snakepaw to attack him, but before he can inflict any serious harm on the Tom, Scorchpelt shows up to stop him. Snakepaw turns his fury on Scorchpelt, demanding that Scarletflame choose between Scorchpelt's life or her petty revenge on Sparrowclaw. She reluctantly chooses Scorchpelt, only to find that Sparrowclaw accidentally ran himself right into a deep gorge in an attempt to escape. Finding that her previous goals are no longer valid, she decides to try mending her relationship with Scorchpelt, and they both decide to return to FernClan and face Needlestar together, whatever the outcome may be. They end up being able to stay. On the night of their return, Scorchpelt shakes Scarletflame awake hastily, explaining that he'd had a run-in with the Dark Forest and that Snakepaw had been injured almost beyond repair. Scarletflame spends time in the medicine den treating both their injuries until they are able to return to duty. Scorchpelt and Scarletflame eventually agree to become secret mates, hiding their relationship from the clans and thus any cats who hold a former grudge against Scorchpelt for his family ties. Finally, they got together. This is when Briar shows up, asking for refuge in the FernClan camp. This dredges up many long-buried memories, and Scarletflame realizes that she still hasn't forgiven her sister for what she'd done. Scarletflame tells Scorchpelt that Briar isn't to be trusted. When another battle breaks out during a gathering, and Snakepaw and Needlestar both turn up injured, with Briar nowhere in sight, she can only assume the worst. Shortly after the battle, Needlestar goes missing, so Scarletflame and Scorchpelt both must work together to run the clan. Snakefang is made a warrior by Scorchpelt himself, and Scarletflame receives a cryptic prophecy. Beware the kit with ice in his heart, for only blood will pay the price. Four will rise from grief, sorrow, lost hope, and last regret. The ice will melt on the new flame, and the kit will rise again. Scarletflame shares the prophecy with Scorchpelt, but the words have barely left her mouth when Snakefang bursts into camp with Rosepaw's limp figure in his jaws, saying that Briar was responsible. Scorchpelt leads a patrol back to the scene of the crime, finding it littered with rogue scent as well as finding Briar's body. He and Scarletflame go to bury her outside of clan territory. Scarletflame grieves deeply for the loss of her sister, despite what Briar had done to her family and to her clan. On the way back, Scorchpelt mentions something to Scarletflame about how it would be safer for her if they weren't together. Scarletflame takes it badly, only able to think of the last words between her and Sparrowclaw. Back at camp, Scorchpelt vows to avenge Rosepaw, organizing battle patrols for the next morning and preparing to attack the rogue's main camp. Scarletflame supports him in this, though wonders if he made a hasty and potentially reckless decision. Just as they reach the rogue camp, the roleplay ends. My friend who played Scorchpelt got really busy with real life and was unable to return to the roleplay. Still, I'm grateful for the time we were able to spend on it together. In my mind, the story could have gone two ways from this point. Either Scorchpelt is killed in battle or goes missing, and Scarletflame is left raising their future kits on her own, or he returns to camp after the battle and the original plan for the kits' futures play out. Definitely let me know in the comments if you want to hear about other potential future storylines or AUs, perhaps even the inspiration behind the character. I would love to hear your thoughts on Scarletflame. Be sure to subscribe, if you haven't already, as well, so you don't miss when I post about Snakefang, a character that I got to raise through this roleplay and still very much love. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you back for my next one. Bye!